My girlfriend said, "You need to cover my rent." I replied, "Read the lease." Then I emailed the landlord, filed a roommate release, logged proof, declined to co-sign, and I just smiled because HR and a parking stub photo were about to speak. Original post: I am 32. My girlfriend is 31. We were together 3 years. No kids, one shared rescue dog. We rented a 1-bedroom near the light rail. The lease was joint, split 50-50. I work nights as an EMT. She, Kara, works days in hospitality, front of house at a boutique hotel. Our life was built on odd schedules and Sunday breakfasts. The first year felt easy. We took the dog to the river. We learned each other's grocery lists. We saved for a second-hand car, then small cracks showed. Kara started saying she needed romance after late shifts. I tried, notes on the counter, flowers on Fridays. She smiled and posted the flowers but looked past me. The trigger was a photo she sent from a team tasting. It showed a charcuterie board and a glass with a sugar rim. The timestamp was 9:50 p.m. The hotel bar closes at 9 on weeknights. In the chrome espresso machine behind her, I saw a reflection of a man's hand on her shoulder. I knew the cuff tattoo, her new night manager, Dylan. 2 days later, I took the dog out before my shift. I passed Kara's car and saw a parking stub on the dash, a private lot 2 blocks from Dylan's building. The date matched her double shift. I did not confront her. I put the dog's leash on the hook and took a slow breath. I went to my locker at work and wrote a list on a note card: "Do not accuse." Gather proof, protect money. I pulled our joint bank app on my phone. I saw 2 charges that did not match our life: a wine bar we never visit, a florist 2 neighborhoods over. I screenshotted and started a folder named Record. I told no one. I slept on the couch after nights and kept quiet. Calm lives next to facts. I ordered 2 air tags on my lunch break. One went in the dog's harness pocket. One went in the lining of Kara's tote when she asked me to grab her chapstick. I felt silly. Then I looked at the photo again. The hand on her shoulder looked like an answer. On Friday, she texted that she would be late for end-of-week close. The air tag pinged at the private lot by Dylan's building. It did not move for 2 hours. I sat at our table with the dog's head on my knee. I breathed and counted. Then I booked a storage unit online for the next day. My first action would not be a fight, it would be a plan. Update 1: the next afternoon, Kara said she was going out with coworkers again. She wore the red wrap dress she saved for birthdays. I told her to have fun. I waited 20 minutes. Then I checked the air tag, same lot. I drove there and parked by the exit. I saw her and Dylan come out laughing. They walked to a corner wine bar. I followed on foot and sat 2 tables away on the patio. I ordered water and kept my jacket collar up. They were close, not touching. They did not need to be. He poured the last of the bottle into her glass and kissed her hand. She let him. She looked like someone who had practiced looking surprised. I took 1 photo under the table. No flash. The dog's air tag buzzed in my pocket when he tugged the leash at home. I texted my neighbor to check the door. She sent back a thumbs up. I stood and walked to their table. I set the parking stub I had taken a picture of on the wood. Her eyes jumped to it. Dylan pulled his hand back. "What are you doing?" she said, not angry, careful. "Confirming," I said. I put my phone on the table and opened the photo of the espresso machine reflection. I swiped once to the wine bar charge in our app, then to the florist, then to the picture I had just taken. Dylan said, "This is inappropriate." The words sounded borrowed. "I am not here to yell," I said. "I am here to be clear. You can come home tonight and we can talk logistics, or you can send me a time to pick up your things tomorrow. Either way, we are done." Kara's face went pale and then set. "You are paranoid," she said. "You snooped. That is abuse." I kept my voice level. "I paid half your rent," I said. "I walk our dog at 4 in the morning so you sleep. I bought groceries last night. I'm not your villain because I do math." Dylan folded his napkin in half. "We should go," he said to her. I picked up my phone. "We are on a joint lease," I said. "Text me where you want mail forwarded." I walked away, past the hostess, past a mirror that showed me a face I recognized and did not like. Tired, but steady. Update 2: I slept 2 hours. I woke to 3 long texts from Kara that said I was controlling and had ruined a good thing by being small. She ended with a line that felt unreal. "You still need to cover my rent until the lease ends," she wrote. "You owe me stability after all this drama you caused." I did not reply. I emailed our landlord and asked for the lease and the exit options. The landlord sent back a PDF and wrote that a roommate release was possible if the remaining tenant qualified alone. I printed the email and put it in Record. I also pulled our last 12 months of rent payments and utilities. Half from me, half from her. Facts, not feelings. I moved what was mine to the storage unit: clothes, books, my grandmother's coffee table. I labeled everything with masking tape. I left the bed, the couch, and the kitchen table because she had bought those. I set up a folding cot in the living room for me. I put a padlock on my toolbox. That afternoon, Kara went to Instagram. A black and white photo of her hand holding a cigarette. The caption said, "When a man is more into surveillance than love." Hearts bloomed. Friends commented. One wrote, "He always gave me weird vibes." I screenshotted and saved it. I did not answer. That night she came home and dropped her tote on the floor. "I am serious about the rent," she said. "You will pay my half until I find a new place, or I will tell HR you stalked me. I will tell the landlord you harassed me." I took out my phone and opened the email from the landlord. I turned the screen toward her. "There is a roommate release," I said. "If you qualify, you can remove me and keep the unit. If you do not qualify, we can both move out early and split the fee, or we both stay and pay our halves until the end. Those are the options. I do not pay your rent alone." She laughed and shook her head. "You owe me," she said. "You are the reason I needed comfort." I felt angry and let it pass. "I am the reason you needed honesty," I said. "You chose something else." The next morning, I called a tenants' rights clinic. A calm man told me that unless a court ordered support, I did not owe her rent. He told me to keep everything in writing and to request a release if I wanted out. He told me to never move out without a signed plan because she could stick me with the balance. He used the phrase self-help eviction like a warning. I wrote it down. Kara's lies grew. She told our shared friends that I had forced her into the relationship, that I had left her with bills out of spite, that I was too fragile for hospitality. I stayed quiet. I sent 2 people the lease email when they pressed. I did not list her choices. I did not show them the wine bar photo. I posted no sub-tweets. Silence is a tool. 3 days later, I got an email from HR at her hotel asking if I would speak about a possible conflict of interest. I drove to the hotel on my dinner break. I wore my uniform. I kept my answers small. I told them there might be a relationship between a manager and a direct report. I told them I had no desire to hurt anyone's job. I told them they should check their policy. The HR manager thanked me. She wrote down dates. She said they would take it from there. The fallout came fast. Dylan's wife messaged me from a new account. She had seen a Google timeline on his phone and the florist receipt in their trash. She asked me if I knew anything about Tuesday in the private lot. I wrote back one line. "I am sorry. I have reason to believe he met my girlfriend that night." She asked for proof. I asked if she wanted it. She said yes. I sent her the wine bar photo and the parking stub. She sent a thank you, nothing else. That was enough. 2 weeks later, Dylan went on leave. People at the hotel shifted. Kara's schedule got worse. She texted me, "This is your fault." I wrote back, "I told HR to check policy. That is all." She replied with a photo of our empty living room and said, "Then pay my rent like a man." I put my phone face down and took the dog out. I filed for a roommate release. The landlord set an income check and a credit pull for Kara. She failed the first try. She asked me to co-sign her half. I declined. I offered a third option. We terminate early and split the fee. She said no. She wanted the unit and my money, then she made a move I had expected. I came home from a double shift and my key glanced off the deadbolt. The chain was on. My name was still on the lease. My dog barked from inside. I knocked. No answer. I called the non-emergency line and asked for a civil standby. 2 officers stood in the hall while I showed them the lease, the email, and my ID. They asked Kara to open the door. She said she was scared. I said I would only take my uniform, my documents, and the dog for a walk. The officers explained illegal lockouts. She slid the chain. I walked the dog around the block. I filed the incident number and record. After that, I sent Kara a formal notice by email. 3 options: release me and keep the unit, terminate early and split the fee, or keep the lease and pay your half while I pay mine. I added the line, "Any further demand that I pay your rent alone will be treated as harassment and forwarded to the landlord." I copied the landlord on the email. He replied that he had received it. That mattered. Update 3: a month passed. Kara's texts got smaller, so did her circle. Dylan's wife posted a photo of boxes. The caption said, "New keys." Comments were kind. 2 weeks after that, a listing appeared for Dylan's job. He had left the company. He posted a photo of a gym mirror and a quote about resilience. His likes were thin. Kara tried again. "Can we talk?" she wrote. "I need help. I am drowning." I said we could meet in the lobby by the mailboxes at 3. I asked her to bring her ID and a written plan if she wanted a release or a termination. She wrote back, "You're heartless." I did not answer. At 3, she arrived in a big coat. She looked tired. She had a folder. She sat on the bench and folded her hands. "I am sorry," she said. "I made mistakes. I was lonely. Dylan said sweet things at 2 in the morning. He made me feel like I mattered. When you caught me, I panicked. I did not know how to keep the apartment without you." I listened. I kept my voice measured. "Thank you for telling the truth," I said. "We still need to handle the lease." She handed me a paper. It was a request to release me and keep the unit in her name with her mother as co-signer. The landlord had pre-approved it if I signed. I read it once. I signed. "I will be out by Friday," I said. "We will split the utilities to the day. I will give you my forwarding address. Do not contact me except about mail." She wiped her eyes. "Do you hate me?" she asked. "No," I said. "I am done." She looked at the floor. "Can we be friends?" she asked. "No," I said. "We can be polite." She nodded. She put the folder in her bag and left. Final update: 3 months later, I live in a studio above a bike shop. The dog knows the stairs and the delivery guys. The place smells like rubber in the morning and coffee at night. It is mine. Money is simple. I pay 1 rent, 1 set of utilities. I keep a folder with receipts and numbers in a drawer by the door. I cook rice on Sundays and roast chicken thighs and pack lunches. I sleep. I wake without my stomach dropping. Kara kept the apartment. Her mother co-signed. The landlord sent me a release letter. I printed it and put it in record. She tried to post a few soft stories with quotes about love and lessons. People hearted them. Then it went quiet. A mutual said she moved to a different hotel on the other side of town. She works the desk now. No management track. Dylan moved in with a friend for a while. There is talk of a divorce. I do not check. I do not chase news that hurts no one and helps nothing. Friends asked if I paid her rent. I say, no, I paid mine. They ask if I got revenge. I say, I read the lease. They laugh. I do not. Paperwork is a kind of fire. It burns clean. It leaves facts where smoke used to be. The dog settled faster than I did. He sleeps with his head on my foot when I read. He knows that the door lock clicks different here. He likes the small park by the post office. We throw a ball between mail trucks. The carrier calls him by name. I started running again, slow at first, then easier. I picked up extra shifts and then dropped them. I kept a day off. I went to the river like we used to and stood with my hands in my pockets and watched the water move. No lesson. Just movement. The last message I got from Kara was about a package. She left it with the super. I picked it up with the dog. It was a photo book my sister made of our childhood. I sent a thank you. She sent a thumbs up. That was that. If there is advice, it is small. When someone cheats and then asks you to pay their rent, they are testing your sense of what is possible. Learn the boring parts. Know the lease. Ask the landlord for paths. Keep your half paid. Do not move out without a paper. Keep words short. Keep proof long. Tell HR what touches work and leave the rest alone. Tell the spouse if they ask for truth. Answer in facts, not heat. I saved one thing from the whole mess, not the wine bar photo, not the parking stub, a screenshot of Kara's text that said, "You still need to cover my rent." It reminds me of a line I wrote after. No, I do not. I taped that line inside my cupboard next to the dog's vet reminder. It is not anger, it is a boundary written in plain words. Last week I found the first note I had left her in our old kitchen. It was under a cookbook. It said, "Breakfast Sunday." I laughed once. I made breakfast alone. Eggs and toast and coffee. The dog sat near my chair. The window looked at another brick wall. It felt good anyway. The fire escape creaked in the wind. The kettle whistled. The rent is mine. The peace is mine too. I left the table clean. I put the leash on the dog. We stepped into the hall. The door locked behind us with a sound I trust. Then the day began, small and steady the way I like it.